welcome you to Denmark.
Thank you.
So I'm going to put you some questions. And the first thing I will ask, what is your name?
Tanausú.
Tanausú, okay. And where is your country of origin?
I was born in Tenerife in the Canary Islands,
Okay.
Spain.
Okay.
Yeah.
You told me when we talked together before that you have been living in London. What did you do there?
From Tenerife I moved to London when I was about 19, 20. I lived in London for about 19 years and I did many different jobs, and then I studied photography there, and I started working as a fashion photographer's assistant, and then I started to do the fashion photography myself, and then I fell out of love with fashion photography and started to do more in-depth, conceptual art photography based on a little bit more deeper issues and subjects. So yeah, I started to do more art-based photography and then sculpture.
Okay. Now you call you a Peace Pilgrim. Why do you have this? Why do you started this pilgrim mission? What is your purpose?
Well, it was through a process of many years, starting from 2012, and there was a sort of a realization about the nature of peace and truth, and I started to look into what was true for humans, for myself, and then in my personal life there was some people that I was close to, they died, and then some others that I knew committed suicide, and then Brexit, and then these terrorist attacks happening, and this fear, and then this Catalonia in Spain, and all this news about the rise of fascism and nationalism and populism. So when I was looking at all these things, I thought, well, this seems like this portray a part of reality that is very, very negative and it's all bad and terrible. And I thought, well, that's not really the experience that I've had and the experience that I had in Europe. So I decided to do something about it, and then to show another part of the spectrum of reality.
Okay. How long have you been walking?
I think it's 15 months now. I started in May 2017, last year.
We have a map up here where you can see. Could you explain me a little?
Yeah, I started in London, and I wanted to start it in June, but because of the terrorist attack that happened in Manchester, I started 2 days after that happened. So that was 24th of May 2017. And I did the whole of the UK and Ireland, and then obviously the waterways is ferry, and then from there I went towards Brussels and then Paris. So I'm going to every capital in the EU, and then I also go to main places of pilgrimage, sanctuary, religious pilgrimage, to get everyone into conversation. So that's the route. Then down to Lourdes, Santiago of Lisbon, and then Madrid, Barcelona, south of France, and then Switzerland, and then Germany, and then the Czech Republic, back to Germany, and here in Denmark.
Yeah. Do you know how long you have been walking? I mean, how many kilometers?
It's 9,052, I think I counted, to Copenhagen. Yes, 9,000. All of that is 9,000. Yeah. But again, you can only do one day at a time, day by day, step by step.
Fantastic. How do you get in contact with people if you're going to a new destination? What do you do there?
In terms of the capitals, because that's why I go to the capitals to meet with peace groups. I look online, and sometimes other people from other organizations put me through. But in terms of staying the night, that depends on where I am, because it's every day different. So locally I can contact the church or the town hall or anywhere just to sleep somewhere the night. If not, then I sleep on my tent in a little forest somewhere. But yeah, it's like not too far ahead I contact. It's more on the day-to-day basis.
Okay. How do you find your contact persons in Denmark?
I did I looked online and I found the Ministry for Peace. I thought it was a nice name. It'd be nice to have a Ministry for Peace in every country. So I contacted them. The first number that was there was the director, was Hassan. I think it's Hassan.
Yeah, I know Hassan.
And then I spoke to him on the phone, and he put me through to Jesse, and then there were some events happening in Copenhagen here on the weekend. So I said, okay, good. So yeah.
How do people receive you when they hear about your message? Are they positive or negative?
Well, when I had the chance to speak to people, especially because not everyone, I mean, I speak French, Italian, Spanish and English, but I don't speak any other language. So when you go to capitals, a lot of people speak English, but in the rural areas, you know, you have to speak locally. So I don't really get to engage with many people, but some people are curious. Generally, I would say about 95% is all positive because people really are friendly and want peace.
Do you have problem with the authorities? Do they ban your activities, or have you any contact with the politicians? Or?
No, I only have had a few politicians just speaking in Brussels and then in Berlin, but it's been more like a personal conversation thing about what's happening. And I mean, I don't really have any issues with authority because I'm not, you know, I'm not doing anything sort of drastic. I'm walking for peace, so it's not that I'm walking against anything. I'm walking for peace. I'm focusing on what peace means for people and the realities of what it.
That's very important because your activities, it's a positive message. You're talking for peace,
yes,
and not against anything. Then you don't get any enemies. Okay. Do you have an organization behind you?
No, I did. It's on my own, it's all personal, but I also like to be as neutral as possible in terms of, I've been asked if my walk is political or religious, and I say, well, it's none and it's all, because you can't separate peace from what's happening in injustice. And I don't belong to any religious group or any organization, but I also promote the peace that comes from all religions. And also the peace work that a lot of organizations do. I think that's important. Again, it's focusing on the positive.
Nice. When you come to a new place, how do you find a place to stay, to accommodate?
Again, it's the same thing. It has been through word of mouth, or Facebook or Instagram, or contacting, and also, especially in big cities, there normally tend to be someone that can call someone and put me for a few days so I can contact groups. But in small rural areas, it's always like knocking on a church or monastery, or I follow the St. James Way as well sometimes, which is the very famous walkway through Europe, and there is some infrastructure there. But yeah, it's like a day-to-day basis. You just, and if not, then I will stay on a tent. I don't sleep on streets.
Okay. How do you get a lot of information? How do you spread that? How do you tell your message?
Well, I do use Instagram because it's very visual, so it's like a visual diary. So I put all the pictures there with the people that I meet, the places, the situations, and also Facebook. And I'm using social media to engage people and, you know, just to show what I'm encountering and all the information that I'm learning from different groups and how they work and how people interpret peace and how they act on it and what are they doing, you know. So all of these things I sort of on a daily basis, because they accumulate, as you can see. So I try to be regular with my posts. So if I lose my phone, for example, it's all there. So I will not miss any opportunity to share.
Okay. Do you think we will get a war in Europe in the coming time?
I hope not. I mean, I think there is quite a lot of fear in situations with the military and how people are seeing each other, but also there is a lot of reality counteracting that. And I think we need to focus on the good that is happening and the good that we have learned from the past, because, you know, it seems to be like the war equals economic, you know, growth and it's actually we have had a lot of that in Europe already. We have had that exploration and it doesn't work. Okay. No.
Now you're going to continue from Denmark. What is your next destination?
Well, I'm going towards Stockholm, and then from Stockholm I will go towards Helsinki. So I'm going to every capital in the EU. So obviously from Helsinki then I will be going all the way down to Athens, and then I will go down here to Rome and then back up. But I might have to take a break in that section there because that's winter, and I was last winter down here. So I'm right the opposite. Winter down up there is going to be very cold, and I haven't had that experience of walking through snow and things. So okay, that's my intention. Yes.
That was nice to talk with you, Tanausú. So I will say thank you very much for information, and hope to see you soon again.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Tak.
Good.
Thank you.
Yes. Could you take a picture, please, for me? Just with